And a pleasant good afternoon to you. John Verlin with On Demand Advertising Solutions, another digital marketing update, podcast number 19. Today I want to talk about, I'm going to call it 4 reasons I believe that podcasts and videos are the future of small business marketing. Or you could reverse that question and say, are they? And I'm going to tell you why I believe they are. Let's consider 30 years ago, those of you old enough to remember back, when you had a small business, what you did to market that business 30 years ago. Let's say you had a jewelry store in a little shopping center, strip mall type thing, and you were going to have a grand opening. You might do a postcard mailing, a letter, a direct mail piece, so to speak, a flyer, inviting people to your grand opening. And you might do that within 8 to 10 mile trade area of your business. So you had direct mail. You might take out a quarter-page newspaper ad, which back then they ruled in a majority of cities. They were the dominant media. You probably spent good money to be listed in the yellow pages. I don't know how many times I had clients put aside a good budget. I got to be listed in the yellow pages. Much like today, it would be like I got to be listed on Yelp. But back then, you had to be in the yellow pages to be considered a viable business by a lot of small business owners. You had TV, you still have TV. You had radio, you still have radio. Cable was breaking into the scene back then. Cheap, very, a lot of cable channels, very diverse, questionable effectiveness because it was so diverse. Were you reaching enough people often enough? Even though it was cheap didn't matter if you didn't get anything back, so to speak. So those are primarily, the options back then you had. And today, these are the 4 reasons I believe the future of small business marketing is going to hinge around podcasts and video, at least for the foreseeable future, because we know that virtual reality, automation, robotics, all these things are coming into the fore. But that will take some time to develop, just as everything else did over the last 5 to 10 years. But here's 4 reasons why. We just talked about the available media that small business had 30 years ago. Today, those platforms and channels have changed. And I'm talking about Twitter, Facebook, Pinterest, Instagram. These are things were a dream. They weren't even thought of 30 years ago that small businesses can use to pinpoint and target customers of varied interests to get them to connect and communicate with the customers. And the platform-related things are smartphones. I mean, obviously, you have still desktops, tablets, didn't have 30 years ago, and your smartphone. That's changed everything for small business, of having those platforms and those channels to communicate compared to the traditional 30 years ago. Now, the second reason I believe that the video and podcasts are the future of small business marketing is because the nature of what they are and how they communicate. They can engage customers and prospects, and you can do it with fun content, video content, even audio content. It can be creative and it can highlight your expertise. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, half hour, an hour podcast, 30-minute video, 30-second video, you have a range of ways to communicate through ear and audio and visual. And you didn't have that. Back then it was a radio ad or a TV ad, and that was about it. So because of the nature of the way you can communicate, you can engage people who have an interest. For example, I have a big scooter. I saw a new, not even a new model, it was a futuristic concept scooter. The other day, it was on a YouTube video. It was really cool. And, they were showing what this is going to look like. And guess what? That piece of content got my interest. I showed it to 2 or 3 people. I haven't even called to see if it's available yet. I'm kind of interested. But that's just it. I'm kind of interested now. They got my attention with a concept video about a concept scooter that's not even been built yet, but I'm interested, or it's at least not on sale yet. And they engaged me as a prospect just because I happened to see it on the scooter website about what's kind of upcoming. Now, that's an example of how they're engaging with a video, a prospect that could go out and buy it tomorrow if it's available. So they're using that to get people's interest. And the same thing can be said for small businesses today by using podcasts and videos to connect with your customers and clientele. The third reason, I believe, is these are accessible. Podcasts and videos you can obviously watch 10 at night or 3 in the morning. 24/7, this content's available. And particularly when it's talking about your expertise for your business. Customers, for example, looking at that video, I wanted to know more about it. It got my interest. Well, your prospects and customers want to know more about you. You've got their attention because of your product or your service, and they want to know more, and naturally you should tell them more to engage them, to get them to want to do business with you, again, because your competition's out there, walking around stalking like a lion, ready to devour any customer they can. So doesn't it make sense that if you have the capabilities today to further your brand, further your expertise by informing your prospects and customers about what you do? Now, not everybody may be interested in a 3/4 carat diamond and how it's made, how it's polished. But guess what? If you're going to spend 10 grand on one, you just might want to know because they feel like they know you better once they see that or hear about it. And that sure may be the competition who's not doing anything like that. So it's accessible 24/7. And finally, the fourth reason I believe is these platforms and these engaged pieces of content, creative content, videos and blogging, podcasts rather, allow for ongoing promotional capacity. And it allows you to keep your name in front of your prospects ongoing every day. You don't have to buy a radio ad 10 times a day. It costs a fortune, let's say, to get your name out there. You do this on a regular basis through social media, utilizing those videos to promote your content, utilizing posts to promote your blog, and you do that on a regular basis. My question is, are you using podcasts and videos to create your expertise, share with your prospects and customers on a regular basis on a blog to tie people, to lure them into your website? That's how you can build your business. It doesn't happen overnight, but you're not having sales every night either. So you're getting to use tools that 30 years ago were a pipe dream and cost a lot of money to build a customer base. And I know this because I worked with a radio background of announcing, writing commercials, producing them, and I did this for clients. And the very things I'm doing today for clients and offering podcasting, videos, blogging, promoting on social media, things like that, I did that for my clients 30 years ago in a roundabout way because they were spending a lot of money to market themselves. And I found out what they did because I did it for them. So that's why I know this. And that's why I'm telling you that the podcasting is a great way to highlight your expertise cost effectively, posting it on a blog and then promoting it through video and posts on different social media. That's the what I call the marketing platform. That's the basic thing. But these are 4 reasons why I believe that this is the future of small business marketing, because not a lot of small businesses are doing this right now. But they know, particularly with video, oh yeah, that's the upcoming thing. They're just not doing it. Now, why aren't they? Well, my guess is a little intimidated. They don't know how to do it. They don't want to take the time to do it, or they don't have the time to do it. They're going to delegate it to their son or daughter who's more familiar with social media, but they may or may not take the time to do this every day and connect on a regular basis. It's familiarity. if you got a memo from someone, oh yeah, I kind of know that person, but you got it once a day for a week. After a week, you're going to get to know them a little more. And then if you got that every day for a month, at the end of the month, I've seen that person. I know who that person is because you see this memo from them all the time. It's the same thing. Repetition. So those are the 4 reasons I believe podcasting and video are the future of small business marketing. Again, because all these platforms and channels have changed and accessible on a small phone that fits in your pocket. It engages prospects and your customers with fun and creative content, highlighting your expertise, answering questions, whatever your customers and prospects need. They're accessible 24/7. They can learn about you day or night, and they allow you to have a marketing platform to have ongoing promotions, to be able to keep your name out in front of your prospects and your customers on a regular basis. It's all coming down to the customer experience. And that's why I believe, in the end of the day, podcasting and videos are a way to create a fulfilled customer experience, because they're learning all this. And then once they feel good about you, guess what? They want to do business with you. So if you're not doing those, I'll be happy to answer any questions you have about them. It's what we do to help our clients, and I think it'd be well worth your while because they're cost effective, and yet they give you a base to work from on all your other marketing. Your direct mail, you may still be doing email marketing. You may be doing TV ads, radio ads, print, whatever. You can lead them back to your blog and your content to access your website, to get to know you. That's what it's all about. jverlin1, jverlin1 is my email. John Verlin's my name. Website is On Demand Advertising Solutions. Love to hear from you. And next week, we're going to have another podcast, and I'm going to delve more into, well, you tune in next week, you'll find out. Have a great day.